Hi dear students, welcome to our channel Maths with Panindra. In this video, we are discussing about matrices, previous MSET question. Let us have a discussion. The question is, let A, comma, B, comma, C, comma, D and E be n by n matrices, that means square matrices of order n, each with non-zero determinant. If ABCDE is equal to I, then C inverse equal to. So according to the options, we can go that. So first, one condition is given, if ABCDE equal to I. So here A, B, C, D is equal to I is given. Identity matrix. See, one by one, C inverse means we need to eliminate AB and DE. So first, in LHS, first matrix is A. In LHS, last matrix is E. So what we are doing is post multiply with A inverse and pre-multiply with A inverse and post multiply with E inverse. See how I am going to do that. So A inverse A, B, C, D, E inverse is equal to same situation in RHS. A inverse I, E inverse. Okay. Later on, A into A inverse. So we can write like this, dear students. A inverse into A, B, C, D into E inverse is equal to A inverse I into E inverse. Okay. A into A inverse equal to I, E into E inverse equal to I into B into C into D into I is equal to A inverse into E inverse. If you multiply any matrix with the identity matrix, you get the same matrix. That's what we are getting. After that, here in LHS also, BCD equal to A inverse into E inverse. In the next step, in LHS BCD, I want C inverse, no, B and D extra. So B pre-multiply with B inverse, post-multiply with D inverse. This will becomes B inverse of B into C, D into D inverse is equal to, here whatever the procedure we followed, the same thing we will do it. B inverse into A inverse into E inverse into D inverse. B into B inverse, D into D inverse is I. I into C into I is equal to B inverse into A inverse into E inverse into D inverse. So identity matrix, with any matrix multiply with identity matrix will get the same matrix. C equal to B inverse, A inverse, E inverse and into D inverse. But I want the inverse, no? So rise to inverse both sides. C power minus 1, that means C inverse equal to B inverse, A inverse, E inverse, D inverse, all inverse, which is equal to, you know that AB whole inverse equal to B inverse into A inverse. We know that formula, no? Similarly, we can apply for this same formula for all these four. So what comes here? So D inverse whole inverse. Next E inverse whole inverse. Next A inverse whole inverse. B inverse whole inverse. So it will become D, E, A, B. Therefore, the inverse of C is equal to D, E, A, B. It is there in the second option, dear students. I hope everyone understand. Thank you for watching our channel.